What's the status of the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships? After Sasha and Naomi walked out of Monday Night Raw last week, they are now reportedly suspended indefinitely. And now we know that there's going to be a tournament, but who is going to be part of the upcoming tag team tournament? Austin Theory has been in the news lately, and now he's looking to change the look of the current United States title. And good old Mick Foley has a new podcast coming out in June. We also got the legendary Bill Apter to go over double or nothing predictions today in today's top stories quick pick for double or nothing. So we got lots to get into in today's edition of the top story. Share that link or you stink.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
Watch out, watch out. When I say watch, you say out. Watch.
Out.
Watch.
Out.
Out.
Yeah, buddy.
What
What's
happened
up,
to
Watch
our
Out
harmony?
Army?
Watch out.
Watch out.
Watch out.
Boom.
Watch
Nailed
out.
it. Nailed
All
it.
right.
Welcome
Just like
to the
the Three
top story,
Stooges.
guys. Welcome to the top story here on Sportskeeda Wrestling. As always, I'm Jose G. We got Jeremy Bennett in Nebraska. We got good old Bill Apter right below us. Kevin's not with us today. He's got some stuff going on.
Wait a minute. What is this good old Bill Apter? You know, I might...
good old. I didn't say. Oh, I said good old.
Good
Oh,
old.
good old. All right.
well.
All right.
Oh, well.
Good old.
All
With
right.
the
I'm glad you
apostrophe
did
right between the E and the L. So.
I just checking.
Guys, we got lots to get into today with the women's tag team titles. Make sure you are subscribing to our channel on YouTube. We are only 300 subscribers away from hitting the 30,000 mark. So, guys, head on over right now, smash that notification bell, smash that like button, show the support, engage with the show. Also, if you're watching on Facebook, share in your favorite wrestling group. Tag your friends in the comment section so they can join us in today's conversation. And also give us a subscribe and a like on Twitch. We are right now simulcasting over there, so head on over there. Show the support to our Twitch channel as well as we grow. If you only want to listen to us in audio format, we got a podcast for you available on all major platforms. So head on over, subscribe to us right now, wherever you can get your podcast.
I urge all my Apter chatters out there who have for years followed the Apter chat. This is the place to be. Follow us, subscribe to us. You gotta be here.
How you doing, Bill? How you been?
I'm
Welcome
good.
back to the show.
Oh, I love being here, and I notice we're missing one of our the fourth member, the first or second or whatever box he's in. But we're missing Kevin this week. What's going on?
Yeah, Kevin's down and out right now. He's got some stuff going on personally in his life. I know he was moving. Moving and doing some stuff. But yeah, I got the best of him, so he couldn't be on the show today. But that's why he'll be back tomorrow.
I heard he's on assignment with something
that
he can't talk to us about yet, but it will wind up being a top story.
I'll be on assignment tomorrow, so.
We always like going on assignment. Don't we?
I gotta go see a mariachi band that plays metal covers tomorrow night. So it's an early concert though. So.
If you're into that, then you'll have to listen to me doing rapping Barry Manilow songs.
All right, there we go.
A future broadcast. Anyway, Jose, what's going on?
Well, we got a lot to get into today, Bill, and thank you for joining us, because today we're also going to be covering some double or nothing quick pick predictions between the three of us, so stick around. We're going to be talking about double or nothing later on in the show. Plus, you have a great new column out on AEW's Kenny Omega. You want to talk a little bit about that before we jump into our first story?
Yeah. I had asked three great minds, one named Jeremy, one named Jose, and one named Kevin, to pool their talents. And we were casually discussing why everybody thinks so highly of Kenny Omega. So I wound up doing my weekly Sportskeeda column on it. So if you go to Sportskeeda profile, Bill Apter, you will indeed find the column. Please read it, respond to it, and you can let us know too on the column or anywhere you see it why you think Kenny Omega. And to me, just like I said, I'm a guy who goes back to the technical, scientific type of wrestling. and he is the master of. He's not a kicker and puncher. He's a professional wrestler, and that's what I go for.
Oh, I completely agree. I mean, it was a great article where we all
Thank you.
gave our details on why Kenny Omega is such a special person in this business, and we all give our different explanations. So go ahead and check it out right now. It's on Sportskeeda.com. Yeah, on Bill Apter profile. So make sure you guys like it and share it, because the more you do that, the more people get to read it. So
You notice the profile.
He's there's the profile right there, the Bill Apter profile.
All right, so check it out.
Well, we got the Watch Out Army in here. We got Big Stacy. We got Christopher Ryan Cooper. We got Steve Bills, Dave Sampson, Mark Murray. Thank you guys for all you guys to support. We love you. Thank you for everything. We appreciate you. Let's jump into our first story of the day, gentlemen. The women's WWE tag team titles right now are completely vacant as of last week. WWE put out a quick press during Monday Night Raw that, Sasha and Naomi have walked out of Monday Night Raw, leaving the titles on John Laurinaitis' desk. Therefore, on Friday night, they announced that the titles are vacant. And now
what am I supposed to do with these?
We're going to be getting a tournament now. So what's the latest here, Jeremy? We have good old Uncle Dave give us a little bit of details.
What are you doing this for? I can't do anything with these belts.
Mr. Laurinaitis, you were not booked for our show this week.
Oh, well, people power. Dave Meltzer from the Wrestling Observer Radio says that the tournament is still planned and there's many pitches that are made. Of course, as you know, there is a severe lack of women's tag teams in the roster right now. Nikki ASH Doudrop and Natalya and Shayna Baszler are the only two teams. Carmella and Zelina Vega have been back and forth in terms of being together and not together. I guess as of the last time they were on camera together, they were kind of together when they got slapped by Sonya Deville. So maybe you could still put them together. Who knows? It's probably going to be a fast track for Toxic Attraction as well. It'll be interesting. Maybe they put in an impromptu match for the women tonight to lose the titles. I honestly think you should just merge these titles completely. Unlike what they're doing with the Bloodline, I think you should completely merge the titles, and because you're having vets come down to NXT anyways. Part of it's to kind of give it a bump in the ratings, things like that, mix things up, and it's been doing a good job. It's been great so far what they've done with everybody that comes there. They should just merge the women's tag titles and call it good there. But nothing has been finalized quite yet. I assume though, man, I tell you what, I mean, the longest tenured women's tag team right now is Casey Catanzaro, now Katana Chance, and then Caden Carter. They've been together for almost, I think, 2 years. If they're not in this tournament, something's completely wrong. If they don't win this tournament, I think something's completely wrong, because they should have been champions by now, considering how long they've been a team.
You know what? One of my Sportskeeda quotes to our terrific content manager, Raju Disgupta. He quoted me asking what team, and I said, I want to put a new team together that comes out of nowhere. And you know what I suggested? Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch. Put them together.
That's definitely out of nowhere. Yeah, two total opposite personalities. That could be quite the comedic relief angle, to be honest. I can see how.
Why would it be comedic, though?
Well, from the character standpoint, when I'm looking at Becky Lynch's current character, she's almost borderline like breaking down, like having almost like that Joker meets the Riddler type of.
She was wearing Seinfeld's pirate shirt on Monday, for crying out loud.
Exactly. Like,
but she's angry. She's angry and she's losing it.
And then now you have a completely rehabilitated Alexa Bliss
with psychologist.
I think Becky should pair with Bailey. I think those two would be great.
Oh, that
together.
would be great. How about this team of my twin sister Wilhelmina and little Lucy?
There you go.
Hey, to the moon.
It's kind of like when Braun Strowman and Nicholas won the tag titles, you know?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
No, but I would love to see a new team come out of nowhere and and win this thing.
Yeah,
Really
I don't
would.
know if they're going to hotshot Bailey. I mean, with Naomi and Sasha gone, they almost may have to hotshot Bailey into the singles main event scene. Who knows? But yeah, Becky's probably going to be cooled off from the title for a little while until they get around to the WrestleMania feud with Ronda Rousey. And who knows if that's even going to be for the title if
Right.
Ronda holds it for that long. If Ronda holds it for that long.
Don't count her out for a clash at the Castle because I mean
Yeah.
she is from the UK, so I mean she's gonna want to do something there.
If Ronda holds it for that long, I mean that means Becky's gonna have to either be drafted to SmackDown or win the Rumble at that point, or Money in the Bank,
Yeah,
And she could Becky could very easily win Money in the Bank, just be completely unstable until she pulls down that briefcase.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's lost it completely.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of the former women's tag team champion Sasha and Naomi, looks like WWE continues to take shots at them, reiterating and controlling the narrative of Naomi and Sasha. No worries, we got plenty of allergies here in Florida, Bill.
Yeah.
But we continue getting this narrative from WWE, taking the initiative of controlling the narrative of them disappointing the fans. I'm gonna bring this over to you, Bill. Do you think this is kind of cheeky from WWE of them just kind of like still trying to push that narrative down? Or do you think they're doing the right thing by controlling the narrative? What's your take?
I don't know about controlling the narrative. My take on this is that, first of all, a lot of people are thinking that Naomi really did not want to walk out, that she was kind of pushed to go along with her tag team partner. And a lot of her family members and stuff are making comments around the place that she should go back. I think what the WWE is doing is very unlike what they used to do, where they would just kind of mention that Sasha Banks and Naomi have left WWE and there will be a tournament. But what they're doing actually is they're making a very big issue of this for the tournament to take place. And I don't think it's cheeky at all. I think they're giving the fans today are, because of the internet and terrific shows like we're doing here, the fans are smarter, and they're letting those smart fans know that this is what's actually going on. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's a smarter fan base because of the internet, because of the social media. So
if this was back in the kayfabe magazine days, we would have made an issue out of this thing, just saying, why they quit, because they couldn't get the top challenge matches they wanted, etc. We would have made it a whole different situation. But again, the fans today know.
Yeah, and it's interesting because they've known for quite a while too, but yet at the same time, this is the first time WWE's ever done something like this, which is just interesting as to why they decided to do it with this situation.
I think it's a con job.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that are thinking that. Like yesterday, we pointed out, and not to kind of continue it, but we'll close out with this. When USA Network decided to put up that graphic of the most significant walkouts of WWE, like why would USA put that up? That's just something that I didn't understand. Why the network that the WWE company is broadcasting on is putting this information out there. Are they working together? Are they just gonna start turning this into an angle?
Well, USA Network and WWE are, contracted with each other.
They are contracted, but
again, so why not, if you have a hot item, how when that first came out on the internet exploded. So why not have USA Network, hey, we're part of this thing.
I wonder why. I wonder if they're just trying to make an example out of these two women, because they did cause this scene in the middle of Monday Night Raw. This broke during Monday Night Raw. So this made WWE look like they had egg on their face. So maybe they're just trying to make an example out of these two, because I still think I still think it's not a work. So I think they're just trying to make it. Yeah, I still think they're just trying to make an example out of them because of the severity of walking out mid-show and having to change the plans.
By the way, somebody just commented that Naomi, walked away from those thousands and thousands of dollars. That's a possibility. Nobody is saying that she was brainwashed. I'm just telling you stuff that I've seen come out from people and family members of hers that she didn't really want to walk out. Is that the truth? I don't know, but it's out there.
Yeah, and it'll be very interesting to see what happens in the days and weeks to come. We don't know how long this suspension is going to last. There were reports that their contracts are going to expire in about 2 months' time. Now we know that that contract's frozen. So
she's a grown woman. She's a grown woman.
Is.
She can make her
She
own
is.
decisions. So
She
didn't
can.
get
She
tricked
can.
into anything. She didn't get talked into anything. She's a grown ass woman.
Yeah, yeah. So is Tony Khan sitting on the other end going like,
well, he was until
waiting.
that.
He's
He
waiting.
was until the story of the freezing of the contracts, because if they didn't freeze those contracts, those women would be free and clear in about 2 months.
Yeah.
So
yeah, maybe before
very interesting
that.
story. Gentlemen, before we continue to our next story, we want to give attention to really tragic events here in the United States and in Texas. We have, yes, there was a tragic event at a school event. 14 children, 1 teacher killed, and senseless gun violence act. We send all of our positive vibes and vibration and love to the entire community. And again, we don't normally cover these type of stories, but it is something that actually just developed within the last few hours, gaining national attention. So again, big hug, big love, big positive vibrations to everyone in Texas right now that are suffering from that horrible, just terrible act of violence.
Too easy to get a gun or a rifle, and something's got to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, man, let's get to our next story here. Austin Theory making some waves today. Recently, it was in an interview, and they were talking about his future regarding the United States Championship and things that he wants to do with the United States Champion. And, Austin Theory's been on a roll, man. He's been, Vince McMahon's protege, his number one chosen one guy. But he had a very interesting thing to say about what he wants to do, particularly with the title. What's the situation here, Jeremy?
Austin Theory recently interviewed by 95K GGO and asked if he had any intentions on coming up with a custom belt. And he says, you can't give out all the clues or spoil all the surprises. I do like the United States Championship that I hold, maybe because I hold it. I got my awesome Theory plates on the side, and I'll be rocking this for a little bit, but who knows? Maybe I might change it up pretty soon. And then he was pressed to go on further and to expand upon that. And he says, for me, I definitely would have something that is more flashy. I love the spinner titles. I think they're great, but maybe there is a way to incorporate a camera or something on there. Take a selfie with the title. Imagine you lay somebody out, then you hold the title up and it's taking a picture of them on the ground. How cool is that?
I think that's a fabulous idea.
It is. I like it.
Actually, I'm going to do it better. He should have a 360 camera on the belt, so that way when he's walking around, you get the whole entire view of him.
Yeah, this will also change the if they merchandise this. Can you imagine selling those things for like $50 or $75 with an actual SD card that you can put in there?
Those definitely won't be $70.
Yeah. Those won't be $70. Those
add
will
a
be
zero.
Like 700, maybe. Maybe
add
to 1,000.
Add a zero.
Depends if they're going to have like LED lighting on the championship belt.
What a great idea!
That would be a cool idea. That would be a great idea. That would be a merch seller.
Yeah, that would be definitely interesting. And a little more on Theory. Fightful Select just dropped an article here literally an hour ago. Looks like Theory and Mustafa Ali were set for a segment on Raw, but got canned due to time constraints. So that's why we didn't see anything from our United States champion on Monday Night Raw.
Okay. All right. But you know something? He's it's great that they're sticking with him so far pretty long term.
Yeah.
With that title, because it's a really interesting gimmick that they've put with him, and he really knows how to present it really well.
Yeah, I mean, on the surface, at first, it looked like a complete ripoff of Tyler Breeze's gimmick, but he's done his own thing with it, and he's a hell of a talent. I mean, I was watching him in Evolve and thought he was a great talent, and was excited that he was coming over.
Some of his best matches are in Evolve, man.
I thought he did great work in the short time he got quickly called up to the main roster to be with Seth Rollins. I thought he did good in that quick role there, and I think he's excelled in all aspects of the business. And obviously
Yeah.
Vince saw something with him, and you see the big WrestleMania angle that he had this year, and now he's held the United States gold at a very young age. So
You
I
know
think
what? That's
I
an
think he's
excellent.
done. Yeah, he's done a great job with taking the ball and doing what's been given
I
to him.
think they learned from their Drew McIntyre mistake and applied what they
Yeah.
learned
Yeah.
and applied it to Austin Theory.
So
I
it's
think
an excellent theory.
absolutely it's better than an excellent theory. It is
Ding.
just theory.
Thank you. All right.
Or awesome theory, because he said I got my awesome theory plate, so that maybe that's his new name, awesome theory. You know?
No, we can't use that because the Miz.
That's the Miz right there. That would be the tag team.
That's the
Austin
tag team
Theory.
name. There you go.
Oh,
tag team name.
right.
Or
Awesome.
That's a tag team name.
Theory.
Austin
The
Theory.
two of them
Yeah.
together.
We're,
Wow.
we're getting that booking done.
Well, one of the legends of our business, who is also awesome, Mick Foley today. The legendary Mick Foley announced that he is entering the podcast world with a company that we've done business with ad-free shows, announcing his new podcast, Foley is God. This is awesome. This is great. Jeremy, what's the details on Foley is God?
Foley's Pod is actually what it's going to be called.
Oh, Foley's Pod. Sorry.
It'll be starting on Friday, June 3rd is when it's going to premiere. And the press release is the hardcore legend Mick Foley and the Pod Father Conrad Thompson are teaming up for a brand new podcast called Foley is Pod, distributed by Podcast Heat and available for download on all your major outlets as well as YouTube. And then it just kind of goes into Foley's career. Foley says, I'm very excited to announce the premiere of Foley is Pod. Conrad Thompson and I have been working hard to make sure this is a podcast you will enjoy and make part of your weekly schedule. People always ask me, who is one person you'd like to have a podcast with? Mick, and Mick Foley's name would immediately pop out of my mouth. And now I actually get to do have the privilege to do Foley is Pod as a real dream come true, says Conrad Thompson.
I'm going to tell you something about Mick Foley that neither of you or most of our audience do not know.
Story time with Bill Apter.
Unless they read my book, Is Wrestling Fixed?
I didn't know it was broken.
Okay, about time we got that in. So I was the guy who videotaped Mick Foley's wedding for him. Roy London, who was our still photographer, did the still photos. And Mick asked me, he said he knew I loved doing video, and I videotaped his wedding. And I did a wonderful photo retrospective of he and his wife to the music of Beauty and the Beast. Yeah.
That's amazing.
It has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I think...
No, but still, but you have a story about Mick Foley.
Yeah, but I think Mick Foley is going to be incredible on this podcast. They could also bring Dude Love on. They could bring Mankind on.
Right. Yeah.
But I think he is such... he's got so much to talk about and so much to tell, and he's a great storyteller. I saw his stand-up comedy routine several times, and I can't wait to see this podcast.
Yeah, I think this should be really fun. I was almost wondering myself, like, when was Foley going to enter the game, and I'm glad that he is. So I'm looking forward to listening to some cool stories here from Mick Foley. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd like to hear about something that back in the magazine days everybody talked about, is when he lost most of his ear in the match with Vader. So I'd like to hear that, the first-hand actual story about what happened. So can I give you one more Mick Foley story?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Share it.
I was in England on a tour with Mick and a bunch of other wrestlers, and hopefully he'll tell this story. And I was going to give him an award in the ring, as I forgot what the award was, that the promotion FMW asked me to, Frontier had asked me to do there. And I was attacked by Alex Shane and his manager. And Mick came to the rescue. And he got into the ring and he said, "Did you people know that not only is Bill Apter a competent wrestling journalist, but do you know that he does a great Cookie Monster imitation?" Mick used to call me at 3:00 in the morning when Dewey, his son, who worked for the WWE, couldn't sleep. And I would go, "Hi, Dewey, this is Cookie." it's time for you to go to sleep. We are all very tired. And Dewey would go to sleep. So
and it would work. It would work.
So in England, in front of 10,000 people,
Oh,
10,000
man.
people, I grabbed the mic and I said, "Hello, England. Welcome to the show." And it was, so that's another Foley story. And I've got stories about him, but he has stories about him that far supersede that anything I could do.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot to talk about for sure.
Did Sesame Street ever call you ever to do any voice work in place for Cookie Monster back in the day?
They did not, but also if you close your eyes for a second. Let me see. Close your eyes for a second. Hi there. This is Ernie, and we also asked Dewey to go to sleep. Yeah. So.
I don't like it.
Okay, so he will be doing that with the pod.
We're getting silly.
Who had a Sesame Street medley on their bingo card for top story this week, eh?
Yeah, you see that? No, but he and Conrad Thompson, the pod father. Talk to the pod father. He is so extremely proficient with what he does. He's so good. He's the master podcaster.
Yeah, man. He's been moving to ad-free shows. He's been doing a lot of great projects over there, great content over there. So I can't wait to check out Foley is Pod.
That will be, and
premieres
also
on my birthday. It premieres next Friday.
Happy birthday.
On my birthday.
Also, when we were doing the Sportskeeda awards, Conrad was one of the people on our panel of experts who helped that along. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, AEW's Double or Nothing is this Sunday night.
Yeah.
And before we head out for the show, we are going to give you our quick picks onto who is going to be winning all these matchups coming up this Saturday. So we got a bunch of matches to go over. I think what is it, like 11 matches to go over. So why don't you kick us off with one of the matches there, Jeremy, so we can
I got the list here, so we could do.
Why don't we start at number 11 and go backwards?
I could run down here. Well, I was going to start at 1 because 11 is the main event. Number 1, of course. Number 1 is the going to be the pre-show, the kickoff show. The buy-in is going to be the wonderful team of Hookhausen taking on Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. This is probably going to be very obvious. It's going to be Danhausen's second match, his pay-per-view debut, and of course teaming with Hook, both very popular, very evil. Hookhausen, easy win to put a smile on our face in the buy-in.
I totally agree.
Same here. Hookhausen's been teased now for last few weeks. The crowd loves it. I think it's the right way to start the show.
See, these are quick picks.
We got TBS Championship, Jade Cargill taking on Anna Jay. There has been zero build to this, so obviously Jade Cargill is going to retain. I really don't know who's going to take it off her at this point, but it's not going to be Anna Jay.
No, I agreed. It will be Jade Cargill.
Yeah, Jade Cargill is having the run of a lifetime right now. She has that Goldberg, so that Goldberg-esque character. So yeah, Jade Cargill.
Yep, we got the win-loss record up on the screen there. Now we got to play a little fantasy booking here because we don't know the matchups quite yet. In the men's Owen Hart Cup final, we do know Adam Cole is in the finals. Yeah. Is it going to be Kyle O'Reilly or is it going to be Samoa Joe? I'm going to say it's probably going to be Samoa Joe, though it'd be kind of fun to see Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. I saw them in a chain match at Supercard of Honor before anybody knew who they were. And then, of course, they had a big feud on NXT, but I don't see them feuding in this one. I see Joe taking on Cole. I'm going to say Joe's going to take it all the way here, guys.
Me too. I think that that company is going to show WWE that look what you let go, Samoa Joe.
And they've already done that with Regal.
I think Joe is the way to go on this one. And not because of anything, I just don't want to see Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly again. We've seen a lot of it in NXT. I just don't want to see any more of it right now.
We don't know either side of the bracket for the final of the women's Owen Hart Cup, but we got Tony Storm taking on Dr. Britt Baker, DMD this week, as well as Ruby Soho taking on Chris Statlander. I predict it's going to be Ruby Soho and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD in the finals, with Ruby Soho winning the Owen Hart Cup.
I agree with you 100%.
I see it the other way around.
We got disagreement.
I see Tony Storm moving on, going up against Chris Statlander. And I think Chris Statlander might win the whole thing.
I'm with you, Jeremy.
Ooh, we got some dissension finally. AEW Women's World Title on the line. Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb. This has not been a great build. It's been a shaky build, even though coming off of Serena Deeb and Sheeta having one of the best women's feuds in pro wrestling today, Thunder Rosa easily retains, in my opinion.
Me too. Thunder Rosa wins.
Thunder Rosa, but this will not be the end of this feud. They had a tremendous feud in the NWA during the Power Days, and I think this could be lead up to something great. But still, Thunder Rosa gets the win.
That's how I got introduced to Thunder Rosa, was NWA Power. Triple threat for the AEW World Tag Team titles. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus taking on Team Taz and Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. This has been a very lackluster tag team title run for Jurassic Express, in my opinion. The time to change is now, and I'm going to go with Keith Lee and Swerve.
I was going to go with them, but you know what? I say Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus are going to surprise everybody and keep their winning streak intact.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do the turn quite yet with Christian turning on Jurassic Express. Plus, I really don't want to see Keith Lee in a tag team right now. I do want him to have a singles run and get and kind of do his own thing. So I think Jurassic Express may retain on this one.
Yeah.
Anarchy in the Arena, 10-man, anything goes. Jericho Appreciation Society taking on Eddie Kingston, Santana Ortiz, and the Blackpool Combat Club. Obviously, I think the dissension, it kind of gave you a little heads up of who's going to win this one. I think the good guys are going to come out on top.
Yeah, it's going to be Blackpool.
Man, as much as I like the Blackpool, the Blackpool Combat Club, I think the Jericho Appreciation Society is going to get the wins by some very nefarious means on this one.
Now it's going to be Blackpool.
They're going to use the sports entertainer route to get the win. Mark my words, gentlemen.
It's going to be Blackpool all the way.
I think the catalyst is going to be Regal, and he's going to help turn that tide. This might be the show stealer of the night. House of Black against Death Triangle in a 6-man tag match. Man, you got to build up House of Black better than they have been. So House of Black needs to win this match.
Absolutely, they have not moved. You know, I really thought that House of Black was going to be a real grabber, and it's always like they're working underneath again. But I think they're going to push House of Black to a win on this one too, from Blackpool to House of Black.
I think House of Black definitely needs the win more than Triángulo de la Muerte. So I think House of Black definitely is going to get the win here.
Dream match gets thrown about way too often in professional wrestling, but this is a true dream match. The Hardys versus the Young Bucks. I am going to go with the Young Bucks. I think they're going to cheat somehow and do anything they can to say they're the better team over the Hardys.
I think there will be some cheating going on, which will give them the win, but we're seeing one generation against the other generation, so to say, and I think it's going to be a terrific match, and the Young Bucks, by hook or crook, are going to win it.
I think the cheating is going to lead to a TLC match down the line.
Yeah, that's where they've got to go with this.
Yep.
Yeah, this is one of the matches that, again, like the previous match that I said earlier, is going to be the start of something. Is going to be a start of a feud. This very well can be that this can lead up to Revolution or to the next big pay-per-view later on in the year, or one of the big events on TV into a TLC match. So this has the catalyst to being a really fantastic match. But I think that the Young Bucks will definitely win out of nefarious means, triggering the Hardys to challenge them for the TLC match.
Yeah, and I think in the end, the Hardys are going to win the feud because I think the Hardys are going to go on and be tag team champions here. And obviously they have goals to be tag team champions in other companies too at the same time. So I think eventually they'll win the war, but they are not going to win this battle. One of the best told stories in professional wrestling today, the story of MJF and Wardlow. Obviously, if Wardlow wins, he will then be free of MJF and then be able to sign with AEW as an actual talent, kayfabe. But of course, Wardlow has to get through the steel cage match with Shawn Spears on Dynamite tomorrow night. But of course, we all know what's going to happen there. He's going to get through that. So
he's been training. He's been training extra hard for this.
Yeah.
I talked to him.
The story has been this has been a long told story, and obviously we were going to have the payoff with Wardlow beating MJF here.
I go with David Chisholm there as well, one of our terrific viewers.
Yeah, Wardlow. This is almost like you have to have the automatic payoff on this one after how many months of buildup?
Yep.
You want to see the payoff. You want to get that pop. Wardlow is the next big star in AEW, and this story proves it. If you give him that right payoff, bro, to the moon with Wardlow.
The moon!
Wardlow would be a monster in WWE.
Oh, absolutely.
He would have been a great opponent for like a Bruno Sammartino back in the day. He's got that whole great look. I mean, he's fabulous.
I'd love to see him go up against Roman.
Oh, yeah.
Well, everybody wants to, because they compare the two, so they have the same kind of look.
Let's start a petition. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, the story is obvious, but sometimes when the result is obvious, it's still fun to watch. So it's going to be a great one to see. And your main event for the AEW World Championship, CM Punk and Hangman Adam Page. I think this is going to be a title change. I think CM Punk is going to win, and then once CM Punk wins, he's going to stare down Kenny Omega.
I have two ways to think about that. Number one is the way you're thinking about it. Number two, knowing CM Punk and knowing how his mind works for the professional wrestling business, he may make Hangman Page look better than Hangman Page has ever looked in victory before. So I'm going to actually pick Hangman Page in a sensational pro wrestling match.
Yeah, this is one of those matches that is hard for me to pick for the simple fact that I wasn't entirely on board with the Adam Hangman Page bandwagon. And he's actually proven to be a good champion. Like, I wasn't giving him much of a credit in his early days as reign as champion. But now that he's what, like 6 months in now? He's doing a really good job. He's turned up the heat with his attitude, especially now with this feud with CM Punk. So I don't know how this is going to turn out. It will be a fun match, but if you're going to make me pick, I want to see something interesting. So I want to see a title change. So let's say CM Punk.
We're at that sweet spot. Here's your numbers: 182, 277, 346. 191. Those are the AEW World Title reigns. Jericho at 182. Hangman is now at 191. So we're almost at that sweet spot where Tony changes the title. So I feel like Punk's going to win it, and then Omega's going to stare him down, and to a big pop where Punk probably play the heel. And I think Punk's going to beat Omega in that feud, and then eventually maybe a Wardlow. Maybe an MJF. One of those two guys could take it off of Punk next.
I think Wardlow would be an amazing heavyweight champion. With Hangman Page, by the way, he doesn't have that classic champion look, but his work is classic champion.
And I've been following Hangman Page ever since he was like a young boy in the decade with BJ Whitmer and Ring of Honor. I've been following Hangman for a long time. And this feud did not interest me at all at first because they were both baby faces. I didn't know where they were going to go with it. But, credit to them to putting together a great personal feud that made it interesting. I was not excited about it at first. I just didn't know where they could go with it to make me invested, and they've done a great job with investing me in this.
The question is here too: does Punk end up doing some type of a little bit of a turn, doing something to get on people's nerves now that he'll be champion?
Yeah.
Especially if Wardlow's next. After Omega, Omega. I could see Omega being a babyface. I could see him being a heel. He can go either way. There was rumors that
he's gonna get the babyface welcome, bro.
Yeah, and there was rumors that Hangman would team up with the Bucks. But now it's pretty clear that the Bucks are not going to turn babyface right now either until they break off of the Undisputed Elite. So Once that happens, though, it's going to be they're going to either levitate to Hangman or to Kenny Omega, or maybe all four get together and reform the Elite. You never know.
Do you notice in the Double or Nothing poster there that Sting is very prevalent in almost center?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no Darby Allin in a match.
No, but Darby's on the poster.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's somehow Sting and Darby are going to make that possibly in the Hardy's Bucks match.
Or
Maybe
Darby
that.
and Punk could be next, and maybe not Omega. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of things that can happen Sunday night.
Yeah, Omega was banged up, so we don't know how close he is, but he is now on the road week to week now. So,
but you can find out more about that in my column on Sportskeeda.com, Bill Apter profile, and with you two terrific gentlemen, great journalists, and Kevin, who is on assignment right now. Let's see what everybody thinks.
Well, thank you for that opportunity, Bill. That was great.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a writer. I'm usually on air, producer, do a lot more of the technical stuff. But if I got it right, I know how to write, and I know where to put my commas, and I know how to put in, I know how to do stuff.
And writing is how I
write. I know how to write good.
And 5.5 years ago, writing is how I got my start here at Sportskeeda. So
that's great. Well, Stanley Weston, who was the person who started me in the magazine business, when I used to write my columns, he kept taking out of the typewriter, tearing it up. So what is it? And he said, I can't hear your voice. You're trying to put the commas in the right place. You're trying to write like with big, intelligent words. I want to hear your voice. And that changed my entire method of writing. It drives the Sportskeeda editors crazy, but it's there.
But it's there. Hey, well, Bill, thank you for joining us today. As always, we love having you on the show.
I love
As always,
here.
guys, make sure you follow Bill Apter on social media at Apter1 Wrestling on all the socials, and also on Sportskeeda's Bill Apter profile. We're on Monday through Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch. If you haven't given us a like yet, why haven't you? Hit that button right now. Smash it. Smash the notification bell. Engage with the show. Remember, we are 300 subscribers away from hitting that 30,000 mark on YouTube. So head on over there and hit that subscribe bell. We really appreciate you guys. We love you. Again, much love to everyone in Texas. I know you guys are going through a hard time, but again, we send you all the love, all the positivity. Appreciate every single one of you guys watching us. And remember, when you are watching wrestling, gentlemen, what's the most important thing they have to do?
Love what they're watching.
Enjoy wrestling. Yeah.
Talk to them.
Let me talk to you.
We'll see you at the matches.
Is wrestling fixed?
I didn't know it was broken. What you gonna do when Sportskeeda runs all over you, brother?
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!